Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to embellish the journal, the Mother's Day journal that we've already started. And I wanted to show you what I've done since I filmed the last YouTube video. So the cover just had layers. And what I went and did is I stitched the layers down and then added some embellishments here and included a button. So when I stitched it down, I don't like how the inside looks. I love how the cover looks, but let me show you how the inside looks where it's stitched. It almost looks like stitches. So what I thought we would do is go ahead and cover that with some paper. So we're going to cover that with paper, and it's not only just going to be paper, we're going to turn that into a pocket. And what I thought I would do is just do a circle punch to make it so it's got the little indentation, and so it's a pocket easy to use. And also, I like how this paper matches this. So we're going to glue that down, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Just do some quick glue here. And I'm only going around 3 edges because, like I said, this is going to be a pocket. So now we'll turn it back around without putting my fingers in the glue. And we've turned that into a pocket once it dries. But I also thought what would be cool is to do a library card on the front. This I bought at a thrift store or maybe a church, I don't know. But what I thought would be really cool is I got one of these date stamps, and I stamped Mother's Day date on there. I thought that could be fun. And so then this says Shepherds of the Hills Church. We're going to cover this part up. And so what you can do is just make your own little pocket and make like a library card, or put a card in there, or a little note to your mom, and maybe put the Mother's Day date on there. I just thought that would be fun. So what I'm gonna do is unpeel this, but you could also just make your little envelope just by, just doing a little tuck spot. But anyhow, I already had these, and I'm just gonna put that down there. And what I like to do is sometimes I will buy greeting cards, and I will fussy cut them. So I really liked how this flower corresponded with this page and how it goes good with this paper. So I'm gonna stop this or do a quick fussy cut, and then we're going to put this over that. Okay. Okay, I'm back. The flower has been fussy cut. And so now we're going to cover this up. And I think I'm going to use some 3D tape so it does a little pop. And look how good it goes with that. Okay, and some 3D tape here. And we'll throw that on. So look at that look. Okay, so that's the inside of our front cover. We have a pocket, and then we have pockets here with the Mother's Day date on there. Let's look at the back of the book, the inside cover. and I thought we could embellish that also. And I have a card that I thought I could fussy cut this out. And then the end of the journal ends with a bouquet of flowers, as if you're giving your mom a bouquet of flowers. So I'm gonna fussy cut that next. Okay, so I have this cut out, and I put some 3D tape behind it. And this will be the last page, and it's going to look as if you have given your mom a bouquet. And you could put something down here, Happy Mother's Day, anything that you want to write down there. And I think that's a good ending to the book. But anyhow, so we have the inside of the front cover decorated and the back embellished. Now let's work on doing the inside. I have a CD envelope. Remember back in the day when we had CDs or DVDs, sometimes they would come in these paper envelopes. So what I thought is we could make a shaker card out of this. What I did is I ran the edges through my embossing machine, put it in a folder, and just did a little bit of flowers on the side. And then I cut this to fit inside the envelope. So we're gonna turn this into a shaker card. So I'm gonna put this in the envelope, and then we're going to put sequins and stuff in there. So we're turning it into a shaker card. How fun is that? So let's see, I think I cut it the correct way. It was just below 5 inches each way. There we go. I think they're stuck together. That's what's happening. Okay, so what I did is put a piece of decorative cardstock in there, and I have some sequins that matches it, and we will drop that in there and turn it into a shaker card. Also, you could put like little words. You could write little words and, you know, favorite sayings. You could do all kinds of stuff in here to make the shaker card. You could be creative and, you know, favorite things that your mom says or that you say. And we're going to make sure it could slide around. And, oh, there looks like a little piece of thread in there for some reason. Okay. And we're going to seal it. But like I said, you could put anything in there that you want just for fun. Beads, sequins, words. And I'm just going to glue the back shut. And now you have a shaker card. And what you could do is just get a cute little paper clip that matches. Let's see, it has some purple. You can do a heart paper clip. And you could clip it somewhere in your journal. How fun is that? Okay. Okay, I decided I was going to put it on this page because of the hearts, and use a butterfly clip because there's butterflies in there. So you could just maneuver things, move them around, see where you like them, what page. Also, I I remembered that we had a pattern in here. So what I thought would be a cute idea, because the pattern is an envelope at each end. So when opening, I mean, so it's like a pocket at each end is what I mean to say. But I thought we would put some cool things in there. Like I found this, that's a mother and daughter, and it's vintage needle set. And I thought that could go in there, or even be clipped to the outside. We'll see if it even fits in there correctly. Not sure if I like it in there, but what we could do is clip it to the outside, or even over on this page, and so it sort of goes with the pattern. And then I had some stickers that have vintage ladies on them, and I thought, how cool are they? They match the pattern, the ladies on the pattern, and so I thought, okay, we'll put those in there. So just little fun little things that your mom or you can decorate with later, that you could put throughout your journal. So fun things, and I might even put buttons in there or something else. So maybe we do click this, clip that on there. Let's see what other clips I have. Okay, well, you can embellish this as little or as much as you want, depending on if you or your mom is a journaler, if you want more pages for writing. It all depends. You just think out of the box. Like say you have a favored game that you guys play, you know, maybe it's Yahtzee. You could put a little score sheet in there in the journal for Yahtzee, you know, and write even your mom's name on it, and you could do 2 of them, or write your name on them. Just think out of the box, things that mean a lot to you and your mom. And you could do, say you guys like to play cards, or you could do, this is a playing card. And what I did is I embossed it, thought that was fun, but you could put 2 cards in here, and it could represent your mom's birthday or favorite number, or I did just ideas. You just try to come up with things that are going to remind you of each other. What I did here is I used a die cut, and this cut out a flower. And so what I thought we could do here is make a tuck spot. So something, you could tuck something in there later on. And so we're just going to glue this down around the edges and put that in there. And so look what we did. We made a tuck spot there. And this is a Rolodex card. It's a vintage one. You could see how it's discolored around the edges. Well, I ran it through my embossing machine and embossed it, but you really can't write on it the way it is. So what I thought I would do is put a plain one behind it, and so it could be used for journaling, a journaling card. So I'll go ahead and glue that behind here, and then maybe we could tuck that in that spot. Okay, so it's been glued, and the back is plain, and we could tuck that in there, or find another location for it somewhere else. But you know what? I'm gonna wait for that to dry a little bit. Okay, so remember what we did is when we put the pages in, I folded some back. What I'm going to use here, because it's a little hard to run through the sewing machine, or I could use a stapler, but this is a stapleless stapler. And we're going to turn this into a little pocket. And we're just going to go along the edges with this stapler that I got on Amazon. And see what it does. I don't know if you've ever used one. It does like a little staple there, but without a stapler. So it holds it closed. So we're gonna do a couple of those to turn it into a tuck spot or a pocket. Okay, so see, now we've turned it into a pocket. And what I did off camera, I don't know if you've ever done this, this is spackling. And what I did is I placed a stencil on this vintage guest check receipt, and I took spackling and went over the stencil, then lifted it and let it dry, and it gave us this look. And so we're going to tuck that in here, and that can also be a journaling card that can be used on the back. So see how that's going to fit right in there? There we go. These are just ideas, tips, and tricks to decorate your journal. And like I said, you can do as much as you want. I happen to have like a little envelope, and you could even make these little envelopes. But I'm just going to look through our journal and decide if we want to use one of these and turn it into a pocket. So we could see where we think a good place would be. And this is why this is another page that can be stapled also, or just left folded like that. We'll decide later. But this is why when you have blank pages, they could either be used for journaling, or you can fill them in with embellishments. So it's totally up to you and how you want your journal to look. So I'm just leafing through here to see if we would like to use this little pocket somewhere and see where it might look good. And we may decide not to even use it. I ended up putting the Rolodex card over on that page. And what could even happen is we could put the envelope in a pocket too, another pocket. And this was another page that was bent back that I went and used the stapler. That's hard to say, stapler. What we can do, so we're not losing journaling space, is we could just do a little paper clip and paper clip that envelope, and it could be used for whatever there. Okay, now we're gonna make one of my favorite things. It's a pull apart card. So we're going to take this card and we're going to cut it in half, and we're going to insert this, and when you pull it apart, you'll be able to read it. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's that card that I cut in half and inserted something. And right now it's closed. And when you open it like this, and it says you're totally awesome. What I had to do is I had to trim this edge here to make it a little smaller, and then I used a corner rounder because I had to put glue on here to keep this adhere, and I needed that space. And then on the back it says it has hugs and kisses, but I love how it came out, and we will find a special place for that in our journal. Isn't it? It's just like a little hidden spot, hidden tuck spot. And you could put anything in there. And you can also take 2 pieces of cardstock and do whatever size you want and do it that way. You don't have to have a card like I did, but this just made it easier. So there we go. Okay, next we're going to decoupage. I love to decoupage things. So I have a reading log that I thought we could decoupage that and put it in the front pocket. I love how the back of this reading log says just one more chapter. That's fun. So I thought we could put these roses on here and maybe use a glue stick for this one and do Mod Podge for this one. And this is like an old timesheet. And what I thought was really neat about this napkin, how it has a bow on the front, so it looks like a package. And then on the back, it has this. So I thought we could do the same thing, or yeah, do the bow on the front and put that on the back of this card. Anyhow, we'll see what, I haven't used this napkin yet. We're gonna see how that turns out. And one of my tips is you want to get all the layers. You only want to have one layer of the napkin. So I'm just going to use some washi tape to pull off the layers and see what we get. So there's one layer, and it's usually a 3-ply napkin, and I think that corner was already starting to come off on this one. And here's the layer we want to get down to make it a little bit translucent. So this napkin can be used quite a few times. But what I'm gonna do is maybe just tear it so I could use the other half on something else. So we're gonna tear it there. And we'll do the bow on the front and do the other side and see what we get. And I like the messy tear of it sometimes. It looks neat when it's like that, instead of the clean edges. So we'll do this one first. And maybe I'll take that to the edge. Okay. So I have my Mod Podge here on a plate. And we'll just cover this. Oh, there went a big glump. Clump, not glump. So I'm just gonna cover this. Usually I have something to smooth it out with, but I didn't. put anything here to do that with. Sometimes you could just smooth it out with your brush. Sometimes people use credit cards or something else. Okay, I'm gonna set this one aside and we'll do the other one with a glue stick. Set that one aside so so it can dry and we could do the back of it. This one we'll do a glue stick. I think, or you know what? I think I'm just gonna decoupage this one too. Can't make up my mind today. We're just gonna use Mod Podge. I just think it dries and adheres better sometimes for me. Now my cousin loves to use a glue stick instead of Mod Podge, but I prefer this. Okay, so these are dry, and I did one with Mod Podge to show you the difference, and it curled up a little bit, and it has a little bit more wrinkles, but I still love that look. Then I did one with a glue stick, and it's very smooth, did not curl up, and I like how they each came out. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you what they look like after. This one glue stick, this one Mod Podge glue. And I'm fairly happy with both. Anyhow, we'll see which one I choose to put in there. Okay, my next thing, I wanted to show you how to turn an envelope. This is just like maybe a junk mail envelope that has a window in it, how you can turn it into a pocket. And that's what I did with this one. And we're gonna do one. And I think I'm going to use this size, and you could put whatever you want in there. You could put a vintage photo, or let me just show you. These are pages from the Ideals magazine that I folded to maybe fit in these and just give you an idea. But you could put a photo of your mom in there, a photo of flowers. You could put scrapbook paper in here. But anyhow, just to give you an idea. So we're going to cover the outside of this and trim it down. But we're going to look to see what we like in here. So that could be, so this is a page from Ideals. That could go in there. And I forget if the back of it says, in the back of it just has floral on it. So that's something that could fit in there. Or this is a little article about my mother's house, and that's from an Ideals magazine. And I folded it to see if I like how that fits in there. So you could be versatile and say your mother passed away. I found this page and it talks about remembering your mother. And so I folded it up to fit in there. So whatever we decide that we want to work with. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cover the outside and try to achieve this look. And so how I achieved this look is I got old piano paper and ran it through the embossing machine. And this is old and brittle, but I sort of like how it has the cracks in it and how it has dimension and how it looks older. So we're gonna just work with that and just glue pieces of paper down. And so what I did, the first layer, I used crumbled up lunch bag paper. So I've crumbled it up, and then what I did is layered this on top. And so you see the brown peeking through, and it just gives an old vintage look. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. And so what I'm going to do is just start covering this and not be particular about covering it. And I might even line the inside of this with a paper that peeks through when we don't have one of these items in the middle. Does that make sense? Anyhow, I'll show you as we go along. All right, I'm just gonna get some pieces and put them together. Wrinkle it up some more. So what I'm doing here is I'm just tearing the paper and making it fit, and I'm putting piano paper over the paper bag, and the piano paper is very brittle and falling apart, but I really like that look because it adds to it and makes it look aged. So what I'm doing here is just continue tearing the paper, and I speeded up the video so you don't have to sit here for the long process that it takes for me to put this together. So I hope that helps, but you could see how I've just messed with it and tear it and just glue it and just work with it, maneuver it to make it look aged. And feel free to totally fast forward this so you could see the end result, so you don't have to suffer through watching me do all this. But I didn't want to delete it because I just wanted to show the technique that I use. It's just all tearing and trial and error and moving things around to see what looks good. Okay, what I did was I put some cardstock inside and lined the envelope. So it could be used like this. And then I put some other cardstock on the back and I stitched this side, and you can put in there whatever you like. Of course, it's going to give me a time while I'm trying to put this in here. So there we go. That's what it looks like. I just love how everything just is like in pieces and how fragile it was. I just like how it turned out. Hopefully you like it also. But you could do any paper that you want around the envelope. You could cut it to size. It was just trying to show you how you could just make paper fit and do different things with it. But that's our envelope. Okay. All right, this is going to be our final flip through. To see what we've created. I realized when I put the date on the front originally on this card, I put May 12th because the front of here says May 12th, and I had that in my mind. That's when Mother's Day is this year. Well, it's actually May 14th. So I corrected that. I did a little tag, which was part of that card that I cut out, and I just did a simple tag and thought that looked cute in the pocket too. There. And what I did here is put that little time card that we decoupage. Ooh, I need to put that down and fix that. anyhow, we'll go through this real quickly to see what we've done. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in my Etsy shop. And it's going to be very reasonably priced. And it will come with a whole bag full of at least 20 pieces of ephemera. So anyhow, just wanted to throw that out there. And it'll be surprises. And then you can finish decorating the journal yourself. So anyhow, there's this envelope here. Clip that back on. And I'm going to include all the different pieces of paper that could go in here. So you'll have choices of what you want to put in that. And this has these in here, and there'll be more stuff in the pockets. I like to send little surprises with my journals. Remember that little piece of paper this cardstock had torn? Well, I just got some tape that I had aged and put that on there, and I thought that came out very neat there with that. And this is just an old book page that I did some spackling on with some roses, and I thought that looked sweet in there. And this whole journal is about being creative and how it takes courage. So there's no mistake. So I'm including this page in here to remind you, creativity takes courage. And there's no mistakes, and you could just glue over, redo, and don't sweat the small stuff. Don't overthink it. That's what this is about. I ended up doing some circle punches and just put these on the end of the signature strings. Put some fun things inside here. I don't know if I mentioned I was putting that in there. Little embossing, and that could be journaled on the back. And you could choose if you want to close this or use it as a pocket or just be folded over. And here's that little hideaway little card that we made. See, this is my problem. I can't do and talk at the same time. Anyhow, here we go. And this can be up to you if you want that glued down or left like that, and you can turn that into a pocket and put something in there, like a photo or something. And I put on the back, make today count. And that vintage Mother's Day card will go in back here too with some other things. So here we go. That is how it's going to end. And I'm also going to put one of these and fill this with stuff too. Anyhow, it will be full of all kinds of goodies. Let's tie it and look at our work again. I will put this in my Etsy shop Thursday evening. Okie dokie. Have a good day, and please subscribe to my channel. I hope you had fun creating with me.